Thanks for coming back to our second installment of our Myrmidon online Agoge. I'm Coach Lancaster again. We're going to be talking about the first tier of what we feel is important for every wrestler or just person in general, which is the mind. We really feel that an educated warrior is a deadly warrior. That being said, someone that has the technique and the know-how to defeat whatever's in front of them, whether it's an opponent, whether it's making weight properly, is going to be better geared for success. One thing that separates man from the animals, I think, is one of the biggest things anyway. It's reason and logic, and these are tools that we should definitely be using, no matter where we're at. So I guess the first part I want to talk about is technique. And you should always have a good set sound technique, and a lot of that comes from repetition and drilling, but also a lot of that comes from learning and relearning. You're going to have a lot of times in your life where you're going to have different coaches show you different ways to do moves, and it's up to your judgment to take in that information and whether it'll work for you or won't work for you. I've had probably 100 different coaches show me how to do high crotch, and all of them are a little bit different. So keep that in mind. What works for one person may not work for another person, and it may work for you as well. So always be learning, constantly be learning. Technique is always changing, thus you should be always constantly changing and evolving. I also like to talk about wrestling smart and having a game plan. I always talk to my wrestlers and ask them before their match, okay, what are you going to do in this match? What's your game plan? And a lot of them come up to me and don't have an idea. They're like, I'm just going to go out there and wrestle. And I don't think that's always the best idea, to go out there without any game plan, just sort of winging it. The analogy I usually use is button mashing. For those who play video games, someone who button mashes someone just randomly pushes buttons and sees if he can, hit the other opponent if he's playing a fighting game, or shoot his gun or whatever. So I wouldn't expect anyone to go into the last boss of a video game and not know how to beat him and expect to beat him, just sort of pushing buttons randomly. Hopefully you win. So that's kind of what it's like when you go out there without a game plan. Now obviously things change, and that's what wrestling smart is, but don't assume that you can kind of sit back and wait. Now I don't want that to be confused with being proactive and reactive, which we'll cover later for my wrestlers that know what I'm talking about. Definitely you can be reactive as part of your game plan. Also, take some time to know your enemy too. And what I mean is that when you go out to wrestle someone, it's like a game of chess. You have to know where he's going to want to move, what he's going to want to do. Okay? So if you have any background knowledge about your opponent before you wrestle him, that's perfect. You can see what he does. For example, if I'm wrestling someone I know that's going to try to throw, I'm probably going to make sure I keep my head back so he doesn't toss me. If I know he's really got a really good, low single, I'll probably want to keep my hands on him to make sure that he doesn't get separation from me. Okay, little things like that can give you the edge in battle. So keep that in mind. And I suppose finally I want to look at, I use this adage around the gym as well, but it's work smarter, not harder. And what I mean is that, there are ways to do things where you can smash through your opponent, which we'll cover in the next segment. There's the wrong way to do it, and there's the right way to do it. Sometimes you can still get the same results with the wrong way, okay? If you have bad technique and you're just stronger than your opponent, okay? But the fact of the matter is you're still wasting energy, okay? You are not setting yourself up to win effectively. Can you still win without using your brain? Sure. There are lots of steroid freaks out there that could probably crack me in half like or bend me in half like a pretzel. But if I use my brain when I'm out there, I'm more likely to keep things close. So keep your head out there. Work smarter, not harder. So that's pretty much all I had for today. Again, if you have any questions on anything, feel free to email me or contact me on the Facebook page. So good luck to all the Myrmidons out there wrestling, especially this week at Nationals. So hopefully see you next week.